there, this is Miriam Schulman, founder of The Inspiration Place, and welcome to video number 1, Painting Pets with Passion. So if you're frustrated and still staring at a blank sheet of paper with no idea where to start, this video is for you. I'm going to help you get started drawing and painting your pet portrait so you can make pet paintings that you're proud of. So for that, stay tuned. So hello, my name is Miriam Schulman. I'm founder of The Inspiration Place, an online art class site, and a podcast by the same name. Welcome to my brand new video workshop, Painting Pets with Passion. In this first video, you're going to discover an easy step-by-step process for drawing cats and dogs. This is going to immediately help you start drawing today. Once you get these steps down, you'll be able to start experiencing the joy of creating. So if you're longing to capture the essence of your pet, but you aren't sure how to draw fur, well, let me tell you, that is not the place to start. Stay with me because you're going to discover why it's critical you get a few basic drawing skills handled right now before you worry about fussing with those other details. The goal of this workshop is simple: to help you easily paint and draw your furry friends. And today I'm going to show you the first step by helping you start drawing so you can have the joy of creating a cat and a dog. And that will give you greater opportunity to experience and start painting your cats and dogs. But first, a warning. Before we dig in, I've got to warn you about something critically important, and not paying attention to this virtually guarantees you'll get frustrated. Right now, you might be saying to yourself, I can't draw, but it doesn't have to be that way. What if instead you can learn an easy way to see shapes? I get this may be really different from what you've heard before about realistic animal drawing. But the fundamental shift is the one reason why this easy step-by-step process works so well. In fact, you might have already tried to start drawing, and it didn't quite work out the way you hoped. So today I'm going to show you a whole new way of thinking about your drawings. I'm sure you'll agree, trying to paint and draw your furry friends isn't always as simple as some people make it seem. In fact, it comes with its challenges. Maybe you are not sure where to start, and you've tried teaching yourself using YouTube videos, or even overworked your own drawing and paintings trying to make them perfect. Let me tell you, that's not the way to go about it. So you might be wondering, can I really paint and draw my fur babies? Listen, if this sounds familiar, I get it. We've heard that little voice of doubt in our head, wondering if it's possible. And I'm here to show you that it is. That's why in this video, I'm going to demystify the process so you can start drawing today, which will shave a lot of time off your learning curve. In this first video, I'm going to share an easy step-by-step process that I've developed after years of trial and error. I'm calling this the shape method. If you want to get started drawing cats and dogs, or really any animal for that matter, this will serve as a tremendous resource to eliminate the frustration and help you start drawing today. Maybe you've been longing to capture the essence of your dog, or maybe you want to draw cats. Either way, you're in the right place, because after this video, you'll know exactly how to get started. Now, let me tell you the reason I'm sharing this with you. I've developed this framework for you because I saw so many beginning art students become completely overwhelmed while trying to draw their cats and dogs, being photorealistic and being really tight with their watercolor paintings. For example, I saw people who were just looking to capture the essence of their dog, and they're trying to draw the fur, before they try to create the volume and the form. And if you try to go about it that way, drawing the details without creating the three-dimensional volume and form, your animal paintings, your cats and dogs, are going to start looking flat or cartoonish. And it's often because this basic framework, which isn't hard to learn, isn't in place. All right, I can go on and on about this and make it sound like I'm the expert, but the truth is, this was my story too. It's really sexy to want to paint in all those fur details, and sometimes I do get overexcited and I'll try to paint those details first. But you really need to start with the basics and put in the volume every single time you paint, and the details don't really matter quite as much. Lots of my art students have started just like you. Let me tell you about Audrey. She didn't think she'd have the confidence to draw and paint cats and dogs either until she took my class. And now her friends are asking her to paint their dogs. She was also worried that she wouldn't have the time. She's a busy grandma who helps out with her grandchildren like many of you might do. And on top of all that, she figured you had to be born with talent or go to art school. If any of this sounds familiar, let me tell you, I hear this all the time. But the truth is, I know exactly what it's like. I didn't go to art school either. And I was tired of spinning my wheels and knew that doing pet portraits was the key to profiting from my passion, or even just to create gifts for my friends and family of their cats and dogs, because that's what they really wanted. So I really wanted to set out, find a way to make it happen for me, and then pass that information on to others. So I did a lot of trial and error on my own, but I want to save you all that time and all that frustration. I'm now a commissioned portrait artist with dozens of commissioned portraits of pets and children, but more importantly, I have a pastime that gives me pleasure. And it all started out with drawing. So if you're ready to start painting your cats and dogs too, and you're ready to invest in your creative self, and stop putting yourself on the back burner, you are going to love what's coming up. This story doesn't stop with me and what I'm able to do. Everything I'm about to share with you is the exact plan I follow to create my own animal art. And it's led me to experience incredible joy of expressing myself creatively. But more importantly, this means you'll be able to experience it too. And that's what I want for you. All women can use some stress release and more joy in their lives, and they deserve this creative time for yourself, which is why I want to make this process easy for you. So coming up, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. All right, we're about to get going. The purpose of this shape method is to help you quickly recognize shapes so that you can start drawing today. You don't even need a photo reference. You're going to be drawing from your imagination. So let's not waste any more time because we have a lot to cover. So here we go with your free tutorials, how to draw a cat and how to draw a dog. All right, welcome. So for this demonstration, you're going to need a piece of drawing paper, a charcoal pencil, a piece of charcoal or preferably soft vine charcoal, and a gray kneaded eraser, as well as a Mars eraser. Now, drawing cats from any position is actually quite easy. All you have to be able to do is draw circles and triangles. So let me show you. I would start off drawing a large circle for the body, and I would draw a smaller circle for the head. Let's just make this where the ground is, just so we have a point of reference. Now, your circles don't have to be exactly like my circles. These are made-up cats. We're just drawing from our imagination. You want to connect the shapes with curved lines. I like to put in rounded triangles for the ears. Notice how I always start my triangles below the circle. You don't put them on top of the circle. And then I use these reference lines for the face. So this guides me on where the eyes are going to go, where the nose is going to go, which is just a triangle, and where the mouth goes. Now for cats, they always have like a muzzle. So for that, you're going to want to put in another rounded shape that overlaps the medium-sized circle. So the mouth is going to go inside that muzzle. And then what you do is you erase these internal lines. And if you have soft enough fine charcoal, it's going to erase just with your finger. You don't have to do too much else. Now for the paws, you can just put in a circle right under his head, and you can put an oval right in between the body and the head over here on the side. Let's get rid of some of these other interior lines. This is going to act as his hind leg. To figure out where you put in the tail, I recommend you draw another oval. So this gives you placement for the tail. Now you just want to smooth out all your shapes. You're going to erase any interior lines. And then you want to put in, let's see, are we ready for the whiskers? No. Make sure you put in like some toes, give it a little more realism. If you have trouble erasing it with your finger, then you can go to first try using the gray kneaded eraser, and if it's not lifting up, you can go to the white Mars eraser. The difference between the different charcoals is that the soft is going to be the easiest to erase, but then it's not going to leave any marks behind. So once you have the basic shape in, then it's when you can start putting in some fur. Let's make his tail just a little bit higher. There you go. And the last thing you're going to want to do is put in the cat's whiskers. And there you go. That is how you draw a cat. So now I can shade in as much additional details as you want, and that's pretty much it for the cat drawing. I told you you can do it. And now what I want you to do is get a fresh piece of paper, because we are going to start practicing our dog sketching skills. All right, now we're ready to draw a realistic dog. So the first step is you're going to draw two ovals. They should be side by side, and you're going to make one slightly larger than the other. Make sure they're not too far apart. That is the key in this drawing. I'm drawing this dog from my imagination. If I was drawing a bulldog, they'd be closer together and perhaps even overlapping. Okay, now for step 2, you're going to draw two ovals for the head. Again, it's going to depend on what kind of breed you're going for, how long the neck is. For this demonstration, I'm thinking about either a Doberman or a German Shepherd or a Golden Retriever or a Lab. And then you're going to draw lines that go all the way down to connect the head to the body and put the beginnings of the legs. For the next step, you're going to draw in the tail and the ears. So for a Doberman, you're just going to make a round tail like this. If I want to make a German Shepherd or a Lab, it's going to be a fluffier tail. How long the legs are also going to depend on the breed. You know that Bulldogs have much shorter legs, whereas these types of dogs have longer legs. Actually, I think I made these a little bit too long. Again, I'm not really using a reference photo right now. I'm just drawing from my imagination. It's much easier if you do have a dog in mind and a photo in front of you than to make something up. But I just wanted to give you the idea of sketching a dog that might work for any kind of dog. Now, when you go to draw the head and the ears, it's really good to have a breed in mind. You're going to draw ears that are either long and pointy or short and floppy. So if I were to have a Lab in mind, they're going to be floppy like this, and a bushy tail for that type of dog. It'll go out like this instead of doing the Doberman style. So you see this takes the shape more of a Lab with longer, floppier ears. And then you can just rub out any of the lines you don't want. So this is going to work for most dog shapes, and then you're just going to erase all the extra lines. Now, if you wanted to do a Doberman, all you have to do is draw the ears kind of pointy and put back in the stubby tail and get rid of the other tail. So you see how that transforms the dog? So thanks so much for tuning in to video number 1. I hope you had as much fun as I did drawing cats and dogs. Now, I have a challenge for you. So if you're part of the free Inspiration Place Facebook community, I want you to post a picture of your cat sketch or your dog sketch. And some of you who are a little more imaginative might want to take out some colored pencils or pastels or collage material or something else and dress it up and really have fun with it. So that's your challenge, to post your cat and or your dog artwork in the free Facebook group. So I can't wait to see what you come up with. And in a few days, I'll be sending you video number 2. Stay tuned for video 2 because that's when I'm going to teach you my watercolor tricks for making beautiful cat eyes. Plus, I'll be sharing tips on painting dog eyes for those dog lovers.